Alright, Shalom. Brother Kabab back in the GMS lesson. GMS keep pushing. Before I go any further, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father's own begotten Son, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, BAKAWADASH. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone for teaching us His truth, according to the Bible, whom grew well. Another Shalom to all the sincere Akims throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth through diligence and sincerity. Alright, came across this article in the Washington Post. The housing market faces its next crisis. Alright, it says millions are already behind as May rent and mortgages come due. It says, and the title's lesson is, seek the Lord and don't worry. Okay? Seek Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi and don't worry. It says, for 13 years, Danny Cataletno, probably Italian name, can't really pronounce it. It says paid the more than 2,000 mortgage on his Bowie, Maryland home on time every month. When work as a church organist dried up in March, Cataleno says he expected his mortgage company to offer help. All right, and it says, instead, a large Texas-based mortgage collection firm called Mr. Cooper and said Carletio could defer his monthly payments temporarily, but would have to pay it all back in one lump sum. It could be $8,000 to $10,000 by then. How do you come up with that if you've been out of work? He said. It says, while aggressively federal and state intervention and temporary corporate measures have prevented a surge in evictions and foreclosures, the housing and rental market has fallen to a severe crisis that threatens the ability of millions of Americans to stay in their homes even if the coronavirus pandemic eases in the coming months. This is Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. Egypt represents America, all right, spiritually, all right, the government. And these lessons we do are for the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, right? The ones that's trying to seek the Heavenly Father in righteousness, okay? It says, woe to them who go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many. Yeah, trust in God's military, right? It says, because they are very strong. But here's the point. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. So that's what our people need to be doing. Is seeking the Heavenly Father. Look, the Heavenly Father knows everything we need, man. He knows what we're going through, right? So we need to be seeking Him first. Then do what you got to do, right? You seek the Heavenly Father first, man. All right? And if they got it to where you can sign up, to pay your rent, okay, they get on some type of payment plan, whatever the case may be, then do it, right? But you gotta pray. You gotta send up prayers, man. You gotta constantly be in this word, seeking the Heavenly Father. I'm gonna play this clip.
My name is Anu Biswas, and I am going on run strike in solidarity with my fellow tenants. A lot of us have lost our jobs and income thanks to the COVID-19 crisis.
My name is Heike, and I'm on rent strike today because I believe that we shouldn't have to sacrifice food and medicine for our rent. And we're in a crisis situation, all of us together, and we need to do this together. And I'm not on a rent strike for myself. I'm on a rent strike for everyone in the city.
My name's Maria. I'm participating because I'm unemployed right now. I work in the restaurant industry, which is shut down. It's been terrifying. It took me a full week just to be able to apply for unemployment. And we were shut down 3 weeks ago. Some of my coworkers still aren't able to apply for unemployment because there's so many people applying. There's so many people that need financial help right now. It's either buy groceries or pay rent, so.
I'm a bartender in a couple neighborhood bars. Since de Blasio closed all bars and restaurants, I was immediately furloughed, of course. I don't know if I'm going to have jobs after this is over, if either the businesses I work for are going to survive. I applied for a job at Trader Joe's. I used to work at a grocery store before, and they were hiring just for this crisis. And my mom convinced me not to get on a train to the interview and not to get on a train every day to keep risking my health and others' health.
My name is Maxwell Paparella, and I'm rent striking with my neighbors to cancel rent in New York. We're demanding that the state house unhoused New Yorkers in the units that we have available, subsidize in state-owned housing, and to make a massive reinvestment in things like public housing. We have 2/3 of the building currently participating, and we're hoping to have everyone on board by May. I think we made a pretty reasonable offer to our landlord. We offered that the entire building should have a 50% rent reduction with the option to go as high as 100% reduction during the crisis for those units that had lost all income. And they didn't respond substantively, so now we're on strike. And we hope that we will be able to collectively bargain with them. We also think that landlords and real estate investors and these kind of interests are probably the best situated right now to absorb some of the shock, some of the fallout from this crisis, the effect it's having on our economy. It's certainly not renters in New York who should be absorbing that hit.
We're always being told as renters, you need to have 3 months of rent saved for a rainy day. I want to know where the landlords with multi-million-dollar real estate investment portfolios, where their rainy day fund is for, a global pandemic like this. It should not fall on us as renters. It should fall on the people who have so many resources to be able to look out for the most vulnerable.
All of my coworkers would love to do something like this. They don't have someone who organizes it in their building, but this is something that needs to happen in all buildings right now.
We as tenants are pressuring landlords to use their power to influence the government and the banks to allow a rent cancellation and a mortgage cancellation until this crisis is over.
We need politicians to be in this with us. We need the banks to be in this with us. We need everyone to come together. In crisis, we need to come together and not fight each one for ourselves. We can't have profiteering in this situation.
All right. This is Matthew 6:25. Because we will be trusting in the Lord, right? It says, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life. All right? Being faced with being homeless. Okay? Having to choose between your rent and to eat and things of that nature. All right? It says, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body what you should put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body more than raiment? Right, isn't the body more important? It says, behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? So the Lord takes care of the birds, the animals, and things of that nature. Okay, aren't we much better than them? Okay, right? Yasha Allah, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, Hebrew Israelites, prince of the power. Yeah, we are. And the point of me bringing that out is, just take no thought, man. Do what you can do, but take no thought for what tomorrow may bring, man. Whether you're faced with being evicted, right? Faced with paying your rent and then going through not having any food in the house. Don't worry about that. Put your trust in the Lord, man. Put your trust in YAHAWASHI. It tells you in Sirach, the 10th chapter, not the 10th chapter, but the 2nd chapter, Ecclesiastes 2:10. The Lord hasn't forsaken those that put their trust in Him, man. Look at the generations of old and see. However put their trust in YAHAWASHI been forsaken. Okay? So that's what you need to remember. And look, and if you are faced with being homeless, so be it. That's just the test the Lord's putting you through. And look, the Heavenly Father didn't have he didn't have a place to stay. Let's get that real fast. This is Luke chapter 9 verse 58. It says, and Yahawashi said to him, Yahawashi is who the world ignorantly and willingly calls Jesus, right? His real name is Yahawashi in the Hebrew. All right, he delivers, he saves. Who? His people. Matthew 1:21. It says, and Yahawashi said to him, foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man have not where to lay his head. You see? And the scriptures say the servant is not greater than the master. So whatever Yahawashi went through, okay, we're going to have to go through, man. But just remember, the Lord knows what we need, man. And the Lord is going to get the hopeful elect out of those situations, man. You know? So with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father's own begotten Son, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM Rakakwatash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone for teaching us His truth, according to the Bible, who rule well. Another shalom to all the sincere Akims throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth through diligence and sincerity. Shalom.